Hi. Okay, so for our math this week and for next week, it is going to be fractions. Fractions are part of a whole thing. So a lot of times I say like things like candy. We use candy as if you give me 6 candies, or if you have 6 candies, can I take 9 of them? And it helps you to think of the different ways to do that. So candy, fractions is really easy with thinking about candies. So let's say we had a whole candy bar. Right? We have a whole candy bar. And you were asked to share your candy bar. So you had to break it up into pieces. So let's say your mom said you have to give 1 piece to yourself, 1 piece to your dad, and 1 piece to your mom. So now your candy bar was broken into 4 pieces. So you have 1 for you, 1 for your dad, 1 for your mom. What is left? So once you broke it up, you had broken into 4 pieces. So how many pieces do you have left since you already gave 1 to you, your dad, and your mom? Just 1. So that's 1 out of 4. If you had a candy bar like this, 1, 2, 3, you could do the same thing. Let's just say you're 1 out of 4. You ate the 1 out of 4 piece, and then your mom was like, well, what about those other 3 pieces? What are you going to do? So you have 3 pieces out of 4 that you have to decide what you're going to do with. Okay, it's really not too big of a thing, just noticing the differences in size and the differences in the fractions. So any of this right here, we're looking at this first page, is how many equal parts do you have of here? You have 2 equal parts, which makes 1 whole. This one you have 4 equal parts, which makes 1 whole. This one you have 5 parts, makes 1 whole. And down here, you're going to tell me which ones are the equal parts. It looks like this one's the same and this one's the same. Are these the same? Maybe. And then here on the back, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, so a fraction is equal parts of it make a whole thing. Then you're going to recognize, which means you're going to have to listen or read the directions closely. The first one here says, what is the correct fraction? So looking here, you have 1/4, 1/3, and 2/3. So if you count, you have 1, 2, 3 pieces. So 3 is your bottom number, and the only one colored is 1. Okay, so your bottom number is going to be the number of pieces there are. So here there are 4 pieces, so we know our bottom number is 4. Look, so these two work. This one we're just not even going to look at. So then, how many are colored out of the 4? 2. So 2 out of 4. Okay, so that's that one. And then you're going to practice drawing and making your part. And then I want you to understand these vocabulary terms. The first is halves, which means it's 2 pieces. Thirds, like 3/3, so 3 pieces. Fourths, 4 pieces. Okay, so you have halves, thirds, and fourths. We're cutting it into shapes there. All right, and you're still going to have 4/4 make 1 whole, or 3/3 make a whole. It's still that. It's just how many are there? How many parts did you cut your shape into? Okay, then this one is comparing fractions. This one's showing the fractions what they look like. Are they the same? Are they different? How do they look compared to each other? So looking at number 1, which one has the most? Which one's greater? That would be the 4 out of 4 because that whole thing is colored. Looking at number 5, look at that. Which one's greater? Is it half of it or is it a quarter of it? So if you notice the bottom number here is small. The smaller the bottom number, the bigger the piece, because that means you're only cutting it into so many small pieces. Okay, so the smaller number, the bigger the piece. And then the last part that you're going to do is you're going to review these so that next week you have a test. You're going to do a review and then you'll have a test next week. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.